Is the science of spirits real? That's what we'll be answering in this video. Is the soul real? Is the world of spirits real? Do we have spirits all around us? Or are these ideas just figments of our imagination? We will answer all of these questions and more, so make sure to watch the video until the end. Welcome to our channel, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you were to search for the term science of spirits on Google, it would suggest that you meant spiritual science, which seems to be a discipline that studies paranormal phenomena. But even if you were to search for spiritual science on Google, it would still not return any meaningful results. And this is because modern science does not recognize a separate spirit as a scientific entity. For example, neuroscience seeks to understand how the brain works, while psychology studies mental processes like memory, emotion, and consciousness, all of which are now explained through brain activity. In other words, modern science explains what was previously attributed to the soul. However, the question of whether or not the soul is real is not an entirely new one. In fact, ancient Greek philosophers have already been debating the topic of the soul thousands of years ago. One of the earliest recorded discussions on the subject is found in Plato's In this dialogue, Plato presents various arguments for the immortality of the soul, including the idea that the soul is a separate entity from the body, and that it can exist independently after the body dies. According to Plato, the soul is the essence of a person, and what makes them who they are. It is the part of us that is rational, immortal, and divine. Another prominent view of the soul can be found in the work of Descartes, the French philosopher and mathematician who is considered to be the father of modern Western philosophy. Descartes believed that the mind or soul is a separate substance from the physical body, and that it is directly created by God. He argued that the soul is indivisible and eternal. Unlike the physical brain, which can be divided and which dies, along with the body, in contrast, the soul continues to exist after death, and it is what allows us to have conscious experiences and make decisions. For Descartes, the mind and the body are two distinct substances that interact with each other, but cannot be reduced to the same thing. This view of the soul as a separate substance has had a profound influence on Western thought and has been influential in debates about the relationship between mind and body. Now let's look at the interpretation of the soul in Islam. In Islamic theology, the soul is considered to be a divine mystery that cannot be fully understood or explained by human reason alone. The Quran states, "They ask you about the soul. Say, the soul is from the command of my Lord, and you have been given only a little knowledge." This verse acknowledges that the question of the soul is a profound one that has puzzled humanity since the beginning of time. However, it also emphasizes that the ultimate knowledge of the soul is only with Allah as Muslims. We are encouraged to have faith in the existence of the soul without trying to fully comprehend it with our limited human understanding. Despite this, there are some general beliefs about the nature of the soul in Islam. It is generally believed that the soul is created by Allah from a part of His own being and is infused into the body at the time of conception. The soul is seen as the source of a person's identity and what makes them a human being. It is believed that the soul is immortal and will continue to exist after the death of the body. After a person dies, their soul is said to be separated from their body, and it will be held in a place called Al-Barzakh until the Day of Judgment. On the Day of Judgment, the soul will be reunited with the body for the final resurrection. The soul is also seen as the seat of a person's actions and intentions. A person's good deeds are attributed to the goodness of their soul, while their bad deeds are attributed to the evil of their soul. This is why it is important for Muslims to strive to purify their souls and to seek forgiveness for their sins, since the state of their soul will ultimately determine their fate in the afterlife. Now, what about the practice of spirit science, or spirit summoning, which is sometimes referred to as spiritualism or mediumship? In this practice, a person, typically known as a medium, claims to be able to communicate with spirits of the dead. Spirit science is often associated with which are rituals intended to contact spirits. Mediums may use various techniques, such as chanting, drumming, or even electronic voice phenomenon devices to try and facilitate contact with spirits. However, many religious scholars, including those in Christianity and Islam, have criticized the practice of spirit science as being either deceptive or forbidden. They argue that attempting to summon or communicate with spirits can open the door to demonic influence or even allow malevolent spirits to enter into the physical world. Therefore, engaging in such practices is seen as a form of seeking knowledge or engaging in magic, which is strictly prohibited in both religions. Instead, many religious people believe that it is more appropriate to focus on prayer and seeking guidance from God, rather than trying to communicate with spirits through supernatural means. In contrast, some people believe that the world of spirits is not separate from our own, but that it exists all around us. They believe that spirits are everywhere and that we are constantly interacting with them, even though we may not be aware of it. This belief is often found in cultures that have animistic or polytheistic religious traditions, which means that they believe that natural objects, like trees or mountains, have spirits or souls in them, and that there are multiple deities or spirits that exist, alongside the Supreme Being. In some cases, People who believe in this kind of worldview claim to be able to communicate with spirits through various means such as shamanism or other forms of altered states of consciousness. In shamanic traditions, for example, shamans are individuals who are believed to have the ability to travel to the spirit world and interact with spirits. They may use techniques such as drumming or the use of hallucinogenic substances to help them enter into a trance-like state in which they can communicate with spirits. While such beliefs and practices may be seen as controversial or even superstitious by some, it is important to approach them with an understanding and respect for the different ways that people experience and understand the world around them. Ultimately, the question of whether or not the world of spirits is real is a matter of personal belief, and there is no scientific consensus on the subject. While many people find comfort in the belief that there is a world of spirits all around us, it is important to be aware of the potential dangers of engaging in spirit summoning or other forms of spirit communication. If you choose to explore these topics further, it is crucial to do so with caution and discernment. Some people believe that the world of spirits is not separate from our own, but that it exists all around us. They believe that spirits are everywhere, and that we are constantly interacting with them, even though we may not be aware of it. This belief is often found in cultures that have animistic or polytheistic religious traditions, which means that they believe that natural objects, like trees or mountains, have spirits or souls in them, and that there are multiple deities or spirits that exist alongside the Supreme Being. In some cases, people who believe in this kind of worldview claim to be able to communicate with spirits through various means such as shamanism or other forms of altered states of consciousness. This idea is also used to explain feelings of instant connection or familiarity between strangers. Some people believe that this happens because they have actually met before in the world of spirits and are recognizing each other again in this lifetime. Others believe that the soul has a memory that transcends our individual lifetimes, and that we can tap into that memory through meditation or other spiritual practices. Whether or not you believe in the world of spirits, the question of what happens after we die is a universal human concern. Many people find comfort in the belief that there is a world of spirits and that our souls live on after our bodies die. Whether or not this is true is ultimately a matter of personal belief. However, the question of what happens after we die is a deeply personal one, and it is natural to want to explore different beliefs and perspectives on this topic. We hope that you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did, please don't forget to leave us a big thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.